Welcome to Thursday Night Knives. I'm your host, Bob DeMarco. Coming up, we have an all-access knife giveaway. That's a knife that anyone here can win. What a difference a week makes. I got a whole slew of new knives to show off. And then we're going to talk about what was your latest knife purchase and your latest knife regret. Now, as I was writing that down, I was thinking knife regret. That sounds pretty general. So actually, I do mean it in a general sense. It could be a knife you regret buying. It could be a stupid thing you did with a knife. We all do plenty of that. But I want to get some of that kind of fodder tonight, some of that kind of story tonight. What's your latest purchase? Are you happy with it? And do you have any recent knife regrets? Marco, good to have you here, Marco. He says, evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Well, good evening to you, Marco. Good to have you here with us. We have Dave, this old OG Blade Reviews. Jeez, oh man. Old habits die hard. OG Blade Reviews. Always good to have you with us here. Good evening, knife junkies everywhere. Bob, Jim, and company. Latest purchase was the Orbital Knife Company Paul Munko designed Fornax. And no regrets other than too many knives. Dave and I are going to try and engineer a trade coming up here soon. I too love trades, and he got in touch with me, said he's got a hankering to trade. So we both have plenty of knives. We should be able to work something out. So Dave, we'll put our minds to it. Ryan Ellis, nice to have you here, sir. Good evening, gents, he says. Good evening to you. Ellis Industrial. Sounds good. Have a nice day. Good to have you here with us. Good evening, Junkalos. That would be $1,200 for a fixed blade Bowie. Okay. Regret or no regret? Or are you just mentioning your latest purchase? Because $1,200, man. I've got one coming up. It's a custom that's in the works, and it's not $1,200, but it's it's approaching that. You could say. So I've been saving up for that. Cannot wait. I'm going to be collecting at Blade Show, which I got my ticket for. I got my plane. I got my hotel reservation for, all on this very same day. Ground Fog, nice to have you here, Ground Fog. Always a pleasure, sir. Dante Farnioli, good to have you here, Dante. Hello, everyone. Looks like a hell of a fish, man. Dion Page, nice to have you here with us. You are well aware of the complete and colossal mess I was in with my last knife purchase. Yes, I am indeed. And it ruined the blade for me, but I figured out how to remedy part of it. I'm going to get the Talwar XL instead. Oh, man, I love that Talwar XL. I'd like to find out what happened with that, with the other Talwar. If it was something that really ruined it for you and you couldn't sell it or couldn't, give it back, let me know. Maybe there's a Talwar in my future, because as I mentioned to you, I got rid of my old 4-inch and regretted it. James Hart, nice to have you here, James. Good evening, all. Latest knife I have purchased, the Cold Steel Safemaker 1 push dagger. That's a cool knife. Regrets, buying the Cold Steel Luzon with the 4-inch blade. It's just underwhelming. Well, I'll have you know. Well, first of all, it's not too much money gone, and I don't mean to be presumptuous, but it's not too much money gone. And know that the Luzon 6-inch is awesome, and it's whelming, if not overwhelming. It is definitely whelming, and it's a great knife. Even though it's 8CR13 MOV, we're talking about cold steel. They really know how to heat treat a knife. So you might want to check that out. And getting that knife, by the way, hello, Angelo. Very nice to have you here, sir. But getting the large 6-inch Luzon, if you like it in other colorations, you can get it for like cheaper than the regular black with the satin blade at Midway or Chicago Knife Works. Can't remember where. It could be both. I was just perusing those stores recently. Sword XXXY, good to have you here. Good day, Bob, Jim, and fellow junkies. Good day to you, sir. Nice to have you here. This is the all-access knife we're going to be giving away, thanks to Dave of OG Blade Reviews. This is the Wepe. I think that's how it's pronounced, WEPE, the Wepe W737 Camping Friend. And this thing is beautiful. This is a David Chen design. Feels great in hand. David Chen did a lot of stuff for, has done a lot of stuff for Tucson here. Camping Friend. I like that little little logo there. Pretty cool knife. Really, really nice drop point blade with the swedge, interestingly placed. It's got nice, what do you call this? Jimping. Very nice chamfering on the blade back there. And really nice G10 handle. That's D2 blade steel, so we'll just truck through the night. I love D2, and I've had a recent resurgence in my love for D2 after watching Peterbilt Knife Guy's nail videos, and just how well D2 does when pounded through a nail with a hammer. Better than a lot of steels, and it doesn't seem to be as reliant on heat treat and geometry as some of the others. From my watching, but a beautiful knife. You got those British racing green G10 scales with racing stripes down the center. Just a really, really nice knife, really well put together, and I'm excited to give this away to you. One of you lucky suckers tonight. Oh, I shouldn't say suckers. I mean that in the best sort of way. Turkeys, should I say that? Now that I'm unveiling all of my 70s slang. No, one of you great guys or gals out there stand to win that knife. All you got to do is put #knife in the comments. That's it. #knife. Split and Slices. Nice to have you here, Byron. He says, howdy, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Thursday Night Knives. Latest purchase, Skelton Blade Works 2-ya knife, Kaladin V2. Love it. Yeah, that's a cool looking blade. Latest regret 5 months ago, PMP Spartan XL, poor detent and huge double clutch. Just nope. I don't have any PMPs, and I'm not even sure if I have experienced them, though I may have had one on loan. I can't remember. Benedict Doty, nice to have you here, sir. We have the Terzuola merch czar with us. I look forward to meeting you at Blade Show. Mike Hauser, nice to have you here, Mike. Good evening, junkies from Nebraska, where the state motto is now we don't coast. I like that. Maybe somebody got a participation award for that. Does that mean we don't do the coasts, like the East Coast or the West Coast? We are Midwestern. I like that. Newest knife in February is the TKL Combatant. What a great knife. I call it Bronson. I like that. After Charles, or after the famous British convict. Drink water. Nice to have you here. Drink water. Hi, Bob. He says, well, hello to you, sir. I've been doing more of that, and I'm going to do it right now. Got to whet the whistle. Craig Vincent, nice to have you here with us, Craig. Evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. He says, check this out. I just want to show this. This is my first time ever experiencing this knife. My good buddy Steve, who lives down the street and is probably here with us tonight, or will be. This is his knife. This is his axial shift. Jay Demeter, happy Thursday, gang. Good to have you here, Jay, as always. This is his axial shift. He was kind of laboring over the choice of what out the front to get. And I told him to take a look at axial because I've heard so many great things about it and have checked them out at Blade Show. And so he got this beautiful Tonto Magna Cut blade steel, the aluminum, let's see, Magna Cut, the aluminum handle, the really cool jimping pattern. I like that, how it turns into little slants. Really great action, easy to do, even with my left thumb, which is not as strong as my right. However, the edge on this was not so great. And I thought maybe once I had it in hand, I'd find the right angle and slice right through that paper, but it just did not do well. So he handed it over to me for a short time for me to put an edge on it. I do believe I put a pretty darn good edge on it, and I'll be giving this back to him this weekend. No man should be without his favorite new knife for too long. But beautiful Tonto blade shape on that. I love the slight humpback before the swedge. It's not just a center line point, or it does look like it rises up ever so slightly if you look down the barrel of it like that. Well, maybe not. Maybe that's a trick of the eye. But great knife. Love this knife. Glad to be showing it off. Steve, this is coming back to you, sir. And thanks for the little tour. I like it a lot. Okay, who else we got here? Will B, nice to have you here, Will. Evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. I bought a Vosteed RS Chaos off a friend. Don't have a regret. I think my next knife will be the Spyderco Military 2 and 15V or Crewwear. What an excellent choice. I would love to get the Spyderco Military 2. It's just a very hard knife for me to justify getting. I have the military, the original version, and I really like it. I very rarely carry it, but then again, I very rarely carry almost everything on my desk. So maybe I just need to go for it. Selai, good to have you here, Selai. Let's see, long time no see. Glad to see you all here. Well, it's awesome to have you with us, man. It looks like you got some sort of a engineering setup there. Music, perhaps? Michael Upchurch, good to have you here, Michael. Hi, guys, he says. Hello to you, man. Adrian Fighter 35. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and fellow junkies. Good evening to you, Adrian. Pleasure having you. Latest purchase is the Cold Steel Outdoorsman Light. I love all the light knives. I love how inexpensive they are. And I love how kick-ass they are, actually. 4116 steel. The Krupp steel is what they used to be in. Now I think they're in 4034. Anyway, just got it today. Latest regret, the Cold Steel Outdoorsman Light. Terrible bad sheath. That's funny. Yeah, I know. I'm looking over there because I have something in that line over there. I have the Canadian belt knife over there. The sheaths aren't the greatest. Do you have the one? They used to have nylon. Now it's kind of a molded, kind of like a Mora sheath. No regrets here. Have a Knife Day has no regrets. Just make sure you get that tattooed on you. But look at it this way. If you're interested in learning how to make Kydex, those are great knives. They're inexpensive, and if you scratch them up or whatever, but that's how I started. That's how I broke into making Kydex sheaths. I haven't made one in a long time, but for a while I was on a little tear, and I started with the Roach Belly, which is kind of in that same category. Tristan Davis, nice to have you here, Tristan. Salutations, everyone. Love the new look. And what's the sword next to the blue light? The new look. Yeah, this is. I'm a tourist with the beard. It's only fall and winter. And then I always take it off in April, even though every year I'm wearing it all the way through the summer. And then the first warm day, I'm like, it's got to come off. But thank you. I appreciate it. This is a Chris. Here. Filipino, I believe. It's not Malaysian, like a larger Chris. And something tells me that this one, though, was definitely it's the genuine article, but I haven't seen too many of these hollow-handled, somewhat hollow-handled. Actually, it's not really hollow, but so it's like filled with resin, tree resin, presumably, or whatever. And then this is and then a wood, and then it's like hot. The tang is heated up and then it's jammed in the wood, that whole thing. But this is hollow, and I haven't seen too much of that. But in books, I've seen that these are like ceremonial Moro Chris's, I believe. But we might have someone who knows more about it, like Dave. He might know. And also from the sheath, it looks like what I just described. But I got this. This was some sort of a bring back from World War II. And I got this at one of my favorite 6th Avenue flea markets in New York City back when they existed. I doubt they exist anymore. Paul Mills, nice to have you here, Paul. Bob DeMarco, he says. Well, good to have you here, Paul Mills. Jammin Parker, good evening, all. Jammin, good to have you here with us. Thank you for that offer. I appreciate that greatly. Broke AZ Knives, nice to have you with us, man. Hey, all, he says. Well, hey to you. Jammin Parker says, last purchase, Dynamis Alliance Winkler Original Dynamis Blade. That is cool. That is a cool one. That's got the double-edged sort of bayonet grind, but double-edged, or sort of dagger grind, double-edged, but it's got the bayonet on the top, meaning it's not as, the edge doesn't come as far back, so you can put your thumb on it, but it also has a bit of a ramp, right? Great knife. And again, I don't have one of those, but I checked it out 2 years ago at Blade Show. I met Dom Rosso and invited him on the show. He's like, yeah, I'd love to. And then, some people are just hard to nail down. And, but he did a great interview on Sean Ryan. So you can check him out there. And hopefully I can convince him to come on the Knife Junkie. King of Knives. Nice to have you here, King. Most recent purchase, TKL 004 Blem. Very nice. The 004. Okay, that's with the. Now I'm thinking of the 005. It's not a clip point. What's the 4 blade? I can see the 1, the 2, the 3. What is the 4? Anyway, you got to let me know. And kind of regret spending so much on knives, but I wish I had more. Isn't that? Oh my gosh, it's so weird. It is truly an addiction. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's not truly an addiction, but it really takes over your mind. It takes over your thinking. Joseph S. Good to have you here, Joseph. Good evening, he says. Last knife purchase was the TR3 manual. So that's the classic ProTech, and probably my favorite of my ProTechs. I love the TR3. Mine is an automatic from 5 years ago or something like that. Manual 2025 SHOT Show exclusive. Number 2 of 75. How cool. That's awesome. I love A, that they numbered them, and B, that you got a low number. That's cool. Ira Hayes, good to have you here, Ira. Good evening, everybody. Hi, Mr. DeMarco. You look nice. Well, thank you, Ira. I appreciate it, sir. Clean cut, you know. It's like Humbert says in Stanley Kubrick's Lolita. He says, "All the best people shave twice a day," and I love that. My brother once pointed out every Kubrick movie that he could think of has the phrase "all the best people." All the best people shave twice a day. David Blade, nice to have you here, David. Hello, everyone. I just got lucky today and came across a Cold Steel Mayhem launch edition. What's that? What's the launch edition? So excited about it. It completes my Mayhem. You have a Mayhem collection. I have not one Mayhem. And I do need to remedy that because I have, I have a pretty awesome and almost complete XL collection of Cold Steels. There are a couple of missing. One I actually traded a little while back for an Emerson, but I need to get one back. I'm the holdout. I need to get that big holdout back. But yeah, anyway, tell me what the launch edition is of the Mayhem. I need to know. Selai says the latest purchase was a Fred Perrin Le Fruit knife. Very cool. Regrets. I only got one CIA dagger, Scorpion gear, and Billy Trident. Billy Trident, I didn't know he did anything. So I know him from his Knuckles. And I used to have him in my Instagram feed. I wonder if I got somehow like unsubscribed from him and never noticed, but I like Billy Trident. Matthew says, good evening, Mr. DeMarco and Jim. Well, Matthew, it's good to have you here. And we have Mike of Northern Knives. What's good, Jim, Bob, and Junkies? Happy Thursday Night Knives. Well, I got something pretty awesome that I opened up today. It arrived yesterday, but I only got to see the box late last night. And I have it here next to me. And I may as well just show it now. Michael Upchurch says, kind of looks like a petrified fish knife. Yes, that's what I meant. Petrified fish, not Tucson. Thank you. It is. David Chen did do a lot of stuff for petrified fish. Check this out. This is from Northern Knives and their house brand 3-Dog knife. Jerry C., nice to have you here, Jerry. Hello, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. My recent buys are the Cold Steel Warcraft Tonto and a Sencut Borzam, straight from our King Junkie Bob himself, from your latest sale. I'm so glad it went to a good home. Love the black coating and the black micarta. That thing that's a pretty darn good knife. I like all the Sencuts that I have. This is the 3-Dog knife Mac. So this is made up at Northern Knives. If you watch the podcast interview I did with Mike, you'll know that they have. I left this on. I'm going to take this off post once I start using this. But they make a number of great outdoors knives up there in their Alaska shop. And look at this beauty. First of all, just a gorgeous sheath made by D. Johnson, who's an Alaska sheath maker. And then check this beauty out. This is M390 blade steel. It is razor sharp. They're at 3DK, 3-Dog knife, anchorage, really nice handle scales, nice thick. I believe these started off life as 1/4 inch thick, right? Is that 1/4 inch thick? slabs of G10 with that nice Anzo pattern. Just locks in your hand. Great jimping. Haven't not used this to cut anything, but I have tested it with the old thumb, the one with nerves in it. And man alive, I can't wait. This is going on my belt. And I got to say, he wrote a very nice note to me on a cool Northern Knives notepad, which will be a part of this desk, but I left it over there. And in this very nice little note, he said, you can give this away on Thursday Night Knives or keep it for yourself, and I'll send you another one to give away on Thursday Night Knives. So I think that's what we got to do, Mike, because I don't want to get rid of this. I love this knife, and I want to keep this knife. But I would love the opportunity to spread your brand around and let our viewers get a crack at one of these. This is a sweet knife. Great outdoors, do everything knife. That's about a 4.5-inch blade. Am I right? Here, let me see. And like I said, M390. No, a 3 3/4 inches. 3 3/4 inches. And I love the scoops here on the side for, I don't know, well, any sort of task where you're holding the knife like this. And I always think of that chest pull thing when you're carving like this. But I know that people, when they're dressing game, hold their knife like this sometimes. I don't know. I've never dressed or undressed game, so I wouldn't know, but this is definitely a full-on outdoors knife, and it is awesome. I love this. Thank you so much, Mike. I wasn't expecting it, and they say that those are the best kind of gifts: unexpected, small, and meaningful or relevant. This is all three of those, and by small I mean like it's not small, meaning it's not a car or something large and overwhelming. It is perfect, and I love it. Thank you so much. I can't wait to have the opportunity to give one of these away, Mike, if your offer still stands. And let me show you this real quickly before I go to Have a Knife Day. It's got this cool dog tag here. 3-Dog Knife Mac M390 OD G10, and then the birth date, which happens to be my brother's birth date. So kind of cool. No, it's not my brother's birth date, but my brother's birthday. So very cool. Thank you, Mike. I'm going to leave this out here for a sec. Have a Knife Day says, knives I regret buying turn into raffle prizes for veteran fundraisers. That's a great idea. Do something good with it, something meaningful, and something impactful. Timothy Chadwick, nice to have you here, Mr. Chadwick. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and fellow knife aficionados. I do like that. We are aficionados. Fine people we are indeed. Strings, what's up? All you knife junkies, happy Thursday Night Knives. Thank you, man. Check this out. So Strings and I did the trade where I showed you, well, we did 2 trades, and I'm going to show you another knife I traded for with him. He sent me a picture, and I was like, yes. And he told me kind of what he was looking for, and it worked. But he sent me, check this out. This is from his band. Check this out. So this is a beautiful, thick, big hoodie, and it's Euphoria is his band name, and the album is Small Town Famous. And I love this. I absolutely love this. And the funny thing is my daughters are both like hoodie junkies. I think it's just a part of their generation. And I showed this to them. Ooh, they loved it. They loved it. So very, very excited to flaunt that and not allow them to wear it. Timothy Chadwick says, latest purchase, Dauntless Manufacturing Clift Bowie. That is a flex. Nicely done, Timothy. And he sent me a nice message, kind of alerting me to that. I do appreciate that. Ira Hayes, I regret not buying an Ontario Bill Bagwell. I know, when they were $125. I know. I have the same regret, because if you go look for one of those on eBay, they're $600, $650, something like that. And even to you, Ryan. And yeah, you'll never get it for 125 again. So yeah, a big disappointment that I didn't get one of those. But also they are really, really excellent and well made. Todd Carr, good to have you here, Todd. Evening, everyone. Todd, your knife is on the way. It is in the mail as of yesterday, on its way to you through its first stop. Incognito Griffin, good to have you here, Incognito Griffin. Cog, good evening, fellas, he says. Good evening to you, Mr. Neon. Angry Tom's next door. Good to have you here, Angry Tom. Good evening, everyone. I'm just tuning in now. Well, you haven't missed much. We've shown off a bit. I was just showing off the beautiful 3-dog knife Mac sent to me by Mike of Northern Knives. And also, you may have missed this beautiful knife from given to us by OG Blade Reviews, Dave. And this is tonight's all access giveaway. So anyone here who can type #knife can get this D2 G10 beauty designed by David Chen. And just awesome, really, really nice knife. So just #knife in the comments, and this thing could be yours. It's called the Wepe W737 Camping Friend. So there's your little Camping Friend logo. Very, very nice knife. I really like this one. Actually, Dave sent me a couple of Wepes, or we're calling them Wepes, and they're really nice. I think I missed one, Jim, before while I started blabbing. But yeah, do know that you can put #knife in the comments to get that one. We will be doing that. Selai says, good eye, Bob. Sorry. Good eye, Bob. Love what you're doing. Thoroughly enjoy the conversation you had with Rolando. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, cool. I do have a good eye for seeing what was there. I too, I could hang out with Rolando. And actually, we're probably going to take my daughters to New York sometime soon. I haven't been back there in years. My wife goes pretty frequently for work. It's like I left and never looked back. But I do look forward to going there again and seeing the city after 12 years. It's been, I think, since I've been there. And I am definitely going to drop in on Rolando and go out to dinner or drink or something like that with him. I definitely look forward to that. Ryan Ellis says, my most recent purchase is a Mangana steel Kaimano. So cool. I love his stuff. Sharif makes some really awesome knives, but designs some really awesome knives. But his most recent one, and the name of it escapes me, is so beautiful. That clip point, all titanium frame locks, so nice. Alakai Torres, nice to have you here, Mr. Torres. I've got a set of Military and Military 2 in 15V is the newest one. I've got the set of Military, and the Military 2 is 3V is the newest one. Love the compression lock and the size. Yes, me too. #knife. All right, he's in the hopper. I love the size of that knife. I love everything about the original one, except the tip downness of it. But I can even live with that. I don't mind tip down that much for carry. I don't like the way it feels in hand. Actually, this one, it feels fine. But I'm not so crazy about how the Military feels in hand with the tip down. String says, recent knife purchase was the Rockstead Higo 2. That is a beauty. He sent me a picture to check out. What a gorgeous knife. Knife regret waiting so long to get a Rockstead Higo 2. Nice. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if one of those is for me, but I can really, really appreciate how beautiful they are. Terminator Joe, nice to have you here, Terminator. Nice, he says. I'm not sure which one you're talking about, but they're all nice. So thank you. Ed, good to have you here, Ed. Hello, fellow knife junkies. Latest purchase, Prince Protean. That is a cool one. The Prince Protean. That has become, I think that's becoming a very, very, very highly desirable knife. Kind of like up there with some of the biggies. I think it's awesome. And Princeton Wong is a really cool and interesting guy. He's been on the show. Check it out. Angry Tom's Next Door says, today I have my Rough Rider Cinnamon Bone Liner Lock work knife with a large, with a large case side draw leather sheath. Those are cool. I've seen those in use with the trappers. I really love the nice knife, sodbuster-ish. Okay, I was gonna ask because they do have one called the micarta work knife, and that's I think I have that right here. That's a worn clip. Oh my gosh, clutter, too much clutter here. This one they called the micarta work knife. Remember this one? It's a cool knife, but yeah. So I was wondering if it was a locking version of this, but I guess not. Denny O'Fools, good to have you here, Denny. Latest purchase, Murdered Out Mercenary. Oh, I saw those go on sale today. Ooh, looks good, man. Terminator Joe, my last purchase was Monday. I got a Cold Steel 5 Max for $280 from Midway. Midway is on fire with their Cold Steel sale. They are awesome, and congratulations on a 5 Max. Someone just sent me a picture of their 5 Max. Maybe it was strings, and I was like, I haven't really been tempted by it, but then I saw a picture of it, and I was like, maybe it's a moral imperative. Carino 1. Hi, Bob. That 004 is the skinny blade. Carino 1 just sent me this amazing gift. I mentioned a pipe a little while back, smoking pipes, and he got in touch with me, and I mentioned this particular tobacco, which is very hard to come by now, and he had a tin of it, I guess from 2018, and I can still smell it come through just a little bit. It smells so good, and this is what my dad used to smoke when I was a kid. So next time I see my dad, which is going to be, I guess, in a month and a half or so, I'm going to buy him a pipe because he got rid of all of his old pipes, and we're going to sit down and we're both going to have a smoke of this. I really appreciate this very generous and thoughtful gift. Thank you so much. Balkan Sobrani, by the way. Pipe tobacco made under license in the British Isles. I'm very, very excited about that. It smells so good. And when I opened it, I just didn't know what was going to be in the box. And I opened it, and the smell wafted out. I was like, oh, man, that's good. Homie Omi, nice to see you here, homie. Justin, Bark River Bravo 1.25 LT, light, I guess, in crew wear, full height grind black micarta. So beautiful. This one has black micarta, so this one is mine. Terminator Joe says, I got 2 Mayhem, I think. Midway USA still has them on sale for around $199. I do have to say, I did check those out at Blade Show 2 years ago, and using the Atlas lock to close that thing is fun. Let's put it that way. It is fun. You could chop your finger off if you make a mistake, but it's out of the way, so you would have to be a fool to chop your finger off. Michael Elliott, nice to have you here, Michael. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and all. Good evening to you. And those knives you see in his avatar there are currently in production with Gunfighter Customs. Maybe production is not the right word, but made by Gunfighter Customs. Victor Blades, nice to have you here. Hey, Bob, que se dice? Good to have you here with us, man. Hard to say my latest knife purchase. I have about 10 incoming. Oh, manage. And 2, I'm most excited about the Hog House Veli. I've been checking out Hog House knives. They're cool. And the Rob Johnson Cedar. Rob Johnson. I don't think I know that. Regret Dead Reckon Ridgeback. Too many knives called the Ridgeback. But that's neither here nor there. Dead Reckon. I don't think I know that brand. But knowing your taste, I have a feeling it's elevated, shall we say. Jacob Green, nice to have you here, Jacob. The last knife I purchased was the Spyderco Native Chief in Magna Cut. I used it to free a bird I hit mid-flight while fishing today. No kidding. It flew through my line mid-cast. Boy, were its friends squawking. No kidding. My gosh. So wait, you hit it with the line mid-cast. Okay. I got you. Wow. So did it get tangled up and you used it to cut it free? Ginger Fisher 75. Nice to have you here, Ginger Fisher. Evening, everyone. #knife. And if you're wondering why he's saying #knife, it's because He wants to win this knife. So you hashtag knife too. Burnt Toast. Nice to see you here, Burnt Toast. That's crazy. I just got a 3 p.m. Fuko Monday. It's awesome. Oh, no kidding. A 3 p.m. Fuko. I'm not sure I know what that is. Are you saying like a 3-dog knife? 3 p.m. What? Okay, sorry. I'm probably having a brain lock here. Have a Knife Day says, have you ever seen a knife in a magazine like Blade, but a knife from the picture, and when you get it in hand, it fails to deliver? I got a knife from Australia. That was the case. All right. Is it the Outback knives? One of the Outback knives, like the big Crocodile Dundee style Bowie? Oh, no. Was it? All right. Now I'm wondering, was it a Hardcore Hardware? Who else is from Australia? Craig Vincent says, my latest knife purchases are the Cold Steel Tonto Light, the Cold Steel Bushcraft Light, not the Republic. That is a nice knife. A blacked out Frenzy 3.5, something I'm interested in. Ontario Spec Ops Alpha Bowie, which arrived today. No regrets. Spec Op Alpha Bowie. I'm going to have to look that one up. Todd Carr says, my last purchase was the Cold Steel Ultimate Hunter in S35VN. Cold Steel Click and Cut, that's the exchangeable blades, and a SOG Power Pint multi-tool. Ultimate Hunter, I always thought was a really, really nice looking knife. That's that's kind of a precursor to the, I'm sorry, guys, to the 8010. And, right? That came out before the 8010, and I remember thinking, ooh, that's getting close to looking like an 8010, because I only knew the 8010 as a custom knife at that point. An American Father, nice to have you here, American Father. Good evening, junkies, he says. Well, good evening to you. Miranda Wilmore, hey there, all. I'm sorry, hey there, y'all. Sorry, you can tell I'm a Yank. Good to have you here, Miranda. Paul Mills says, my last knife purchase is a Stout V2. Jason Stout from Devo, I think. Having some weird thing happen in my ear, and it happens every once in a while, and I always think it's an angel fluttering by. Okay, Bob. Autumn Wind, nice to have you here, Autumn Wind. Hello, all, he says, and hello to you, sir. Have a Knife Day says, came with a cool PVC patch of a kangaroo. Kept the patch. It's on my patch sheet, and sold the knife to a friend. He was happy. Oh, man. Okay, I'm going to have to figure this one out. Now I got to know. Jeremy Nedro, nice to see you here, Jeremy. He says, my last knife purchase was the Spyderco PM3 in 15V. Man, I can only imagine. Well, I can't. That's got to be an awesome steal. Burnt Toast, my last purchase was the 3-dog knife Fuko. Okay, cool. Burnt Toast, I'm glad to hear that. I really, really like this 3-dog knife Mac. And as a matter of fact, I see this being on my belt a lot this summer when I'm out messing around in the back. Incognito Griffin says, last month I bought a Cold Steel Coburn. The reason I bought it was because of Operation Jawbreaker after 9/11. Wait, last month I bought a Cold Steel Coburn. The reason I bought was because of Operation Jawbreaker after 9/11. All right, Incognito, tell me a little more. Tell me a little more about what you mean. Is that because it was carried during that mission? I'm not sure. String says that 3-dog knife looks sick. What a great opportunity for us to maybe win one some Thursday. Yes, indeed. Okay. I got to say, like Have a Knife Day says, stab that like button. And all of that said, before we get to give away the knife, we do have to get to a pocket check.
What's in his pocket? Let's find out. Here's the Knife Junkie with his pocket check of knives.
That was foreshadowing. Here is the Recon 1. This was my front right pocket today. I have not carried this in a long time, in a very long time. This is one of the early ones after the redesign. So this is AUS 8. This came with that sort of spray painted blade. which once you remove all of the coating, it's got this really beautiful stone wash underneath. I gave it that sharpening choil, and the really grippy G10 has smoothed out over the years. This was my EDC carry for quite a while, and then it ended up in my backpack. It was my backpack knife for years, and then I swapped it out not that long ago with my SR1 Light Tonto. But this had a big old lanyard on it, and that was so I could grab it out of the bag in the dark, or if I just was feeling around for it, I'd be able to find it, even though it was always clipped in the same place. But it also made it easier to draw it out. And then when I took it out, I was like, when I removed it from service in the backpack, I started thinking, man, I got to start carrying this. It's a great knife, and it is. But I never did because of that giant lanyard. I finally undid the lanyard so as not to waste the paracord, and decided to carry it. And I love this thing. I love it, and I'm like, makes me want to get another one. And why would I? I have no reason. This is hollow ground. The new ones I think are flat ground. They have better steel, but let's face it, their AUS 8 is pretty excellent steel. The way they heat treat it, and considering how I would use it, it's just fine. So sometimes you just need to I need to remember not to get so acquisitive. It's like, oh, I have one, I must get more. Well, why? This one is perfectly awesome, and it's got years of use in it and years of carry, and it's a great knife. I also love how the Recon One logo still remains in a ghost-like fashion, whereas before on the black blade it was like bright white. For a while, who was it? It was a Canadian knife purveyor before the Canadians went nuts with their knife laws, who sold a flat ground version with the satin blade, I believe. Can't remember who that was, but anyway, I remember Kevin Cleary showing it off. Anyway, great knife, great knife. I can't believe I had the Tonto version of this twice. Once it was stolen out of my car. Second time I bought a new one in S35VN, and then I sold that. Why did I do that? I need to get it back. But anyway, carried that today. Also in my front right pocket next to that, because phone was in my left pocket, I had the Feel Good Jack from Jack Wolf Knives. I haven't carried this one in quite a while, but what a great knife this is. Has that downward descending straight edge with the tip below the handle on this Wharncliffe or sheep's foot blade. Really excellent S90V, very sharp, just slender, svelte, a great user knife. This is a really nice doctor's style pattern, doctor's knife pattern. Sorry, I'm trying to clear this weirdness here. You got that blue carbon fiber. What is this? That carbon fiber is called it's not Arctic Storm. It's called Dark Matter Blue, I think, something like that. Just a beautiful knife, and a great accompaniment to the cold steel, because the cold steel has such a nice belly, and it's such a clip point. Had to have something with the straight edge. And here's the beautiful little leather slip. I have not gotten any replacement slips for the Jack Wolf knives because they're all so nice. All right, next up, the Nova One. Haven't carried this one in a while too. This was nice to have on me. I just remembered how much I love this knife. The Hog Tooth Knives made collaboration I did. This is the precursor, not the precursor. This is the Nova One. Of course, there's a Nova 2. And oh, interesting. I think I see a little bit of something on the blade I have to rub out. But a beautifully done 154 cm recurve Bowie with the beautiful maroon micarta handles. Just a great knife. This one I was wearing since I was wearing Extra loose jeans today. Not only am I, in the process of losing a little bit of belly weight, but I had to get a new pair of jeans, and it's I don't want to say impossible, but right now, my other jeans, it's very, very hard to carry in the waistband, and I've been kind of doing that on and off with a shoulder rig. I know I'm an old schooler with the shoulder thing. But I like it. I like a shoulder holster. But in the waistband, I was like, I need bigger pants. So I got bigger pants. So today I had this in my bigger pants in the waistband, as opposed to appendix, which sometimes works great with this knife. Sometimes, like when I'm feeling a little more slender. All right. And lastly, for emotional support, actually, my emotional support knife today could be a part of the state of the collection because it's brand new, but I carried it. And it's the K-Bar Doghead Bowie. I've always wanted, or Doghead K-Bar. I've always wanted one of these. This was the very first knife we gave away to a lucky gentleman junkie way back when, and it got its hooks in me. And I've been wanting to get a modern K-Bar. I have a number of antique K-Bars, and then a remake from the 1991 of the World War II version. But I just wanted a modern K-Bar. But this one really takes the cake. You got the modern K-Bar blade with its refinements over the older ones, or changes in any case. And then you've got a guard that does not, that isn't as thin as the original, and it does not bend down towards the hand. That always stuck in my craw a little bit. I always thought it should bend forward instead of back. But anyway, it has the shorter quillion on top in case you need to choke up like this. And it's got this awesome pommel, really nice pommel, still done the same way with the thin tang, and then the bolt going through the tang, through the pommel that way, locking it on. Great, beautiful knife. Haven't used this thing for anything yet, but I love it. That's why it's called the Doghead. And it's got a great leather sheath. So there it is. That's my carry for today. Tell me, guys, what you were carrying. Let me know. Drop it in the comments below, and we will talk all about it. Did you carry a slip joint today? I kind of have been doing a lot of revisiting my various slip joints, but I got to do a lot more because it's hard for me lately not to get stuck on the Victorinox Compact. I've just been finding that thing so useful. I've been having to not veer away from it, but kind of force myself to carry other slip joints lately. David Blade says the launch edition is a numbered version. I think they only made 1,000 of them. It's got an S30. Oh, I remember this. Red liners, right? Yeah, S35 VN blade with black and red G10 versus the OS 8A version, their blackout edition with black. Okay, I do remember when they came out with this. I think that the launch edition was when they launched the knife, right? I mean, it's like I think maybe that's what they call it that. Selai says, guys, I really want to get an auxiliary manufacturing Sume. Has anyone had experience with it? I've held it. I've got a number of auxiliary manufacturing blades, none on the table. The Sume is really nice. And yes, I've held it at his table, and it's small, but you can get a full 4-finger grip on it, and you can cap the pommel with your thumb. It's like an 1.5 inch. I'd say go for it. If they have them, go for it, because he's been doing a lot of the coffin handle knives, and he recently did a drop with knives ship free, and he did a lot of blades that he hasn't produced in a while, like the Carl Jr., the Tsume, and others. So if you can find it and you want it, I would say get it, because I don't think he makes those as regularly as he once did. So go for it. And if you don't like it, sell it to me. N Conway, nice to have you here. Or Mr. Conway, presumably. Bob, Jim, fellow junkies, just received my new LT Wright Knives Patriot. LT Wright, those are awesome knives. It's a nice little fixed blade produced here in my home state of Ohio. I am from Ohio. However, I didn't know LT Wright was A2 tool steel and green micarta for $95. Very nice. I believe LT touches every one of those blades. Glad you like the knife, Bob. Thank you. And I'm not the only one. Mike, as we heard, Strings loves it. And someone just bought the Fuko. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting your name, but I'm remembering your face from your avatar. Miranda says, glad you like it and get to tease your kiddos with it. LOL. Our 20-year-old loves hoodies. Oh, okay. I didn't put this together. Miranda and Strings. Gotcha. LOL. Our 20-year-old loves hoodies as well and will take any one that might be lying around. It's true. It's true. And the more like random, or not random, but they haven't heard your music, and that's part of why they like it. It's like mysterious. No one else will have this hoodie at my school. So I'm like, yeah, okay. That's no reason. No one else has this at your school. I'm not going to give it to you. Ed says, knives I regret buying, the Essie Avispa. Terrible action and insane lock stick. Yeah. I remember that one. It's kind of a sort of a cheap one, if I recall correctly. That's a steel frame lock. Michael Elliott, my latest knife purchase, Gunfighter Customs El Jefe Karambit. Yikes. I really like Gunfighter Customs, as I mentioned probably last week. I need to get one in my life. Latest knife regret, Olight Otacle EDC tool. My wife claimed it. LOL. Well, that's good. That's great. And sometimes if it's not an expensive purchase, but you're just not thrilled with it, it's a junk drawer knife and you find it coming in really handy. We've got a number of those, and they get used a lot, actually. An American Father says, latest purchase would be a cracker. What's that? A cracker. There was a band called Cracker. I think it was Husker Du's second incarnation, and I liked some of their songs. I think they sang Happy Birthday to Me, which I sing every time it's my birthday. Howard, my boy, too. Good to have you here, Howard. Good evening, junkies. Well, good evening to you, man. I snagged red Techno Carbo Null Knives Voodoo. Those are so beautiful. Those are beautiful. I also have a Miguron Arma 2 on the way. Very nice. Well, I don't know what that Miguron is, but they're a great company. But those Null knives, they are really cool looking. What do you call that? A modified scoop tip sheep's foot something. I don't know, but they are beautiful. Pat D's Nuts. How you doing, Pat? Hello, all. I made it. Well, it's good to have you here, man. It's amazing. This must show that I'm maturing a bit because I can say your name without giggling and cracking up. But Pat D's Nuts, don't ever change your name. Ed says, my latest knife regret. Oh, my latest knife regret is the Hinderer XM18. The aggressive jimping right on the landing spot for your finger after flipping just didn't work for me. Interesting. I have two XM18s and two XM24s. I love them all. What I don't like is, and I think they fixed this with the Project X, but I don't like where your finger contacts the very sharp tip of the flipper. Like, that was always a little curious to me, but that said, I still love my Hinderers, though I haven't had an appetite to buy a new Hinderer in a long time. If they came back out with the Spartan, or what do they call the double edge, I would get that again, or I would get that. I regret not getting it initially. Carino says, hey, glad it made it. Hope it's a great smoke for you both. Thank you, man. I know it will be. And my dad hasn't smoked a pipe in 40 years probably. And but he and I have smoked cigars together, and he was very kind of proud. Oh, really? You're smoking a pipe, huh? So I know for sure he'll enjoy this with me. The only thing is we have to get him a pipe, and I need a good briar pipe. I have one, I think it's out of ebony wood, and then I have one, and I'm embarrassed to say it's a corncob pipe, and I love it. But I need to get a good briar wood pipe before I indulge in this, for sure. Angry Tom's Hat Next Door says, Bob, my coworker lost his blade, so I gave him one of mine. I saw it today, and he beat the crap out of it. I should have given him one of lesser value. You got to tell us, Angry Tom. You got to tell us. What did you loan him? What did he take, and what did he beat to crap? I want to know. Todd Carr, certain smells will definitely trigger memories. Great that you can experience it again. Yes, indeed it is, Todd. I agree with you. Oh, wait, let me show this off because I haven't yet, and I just want to remind gentlemen junkies of what you stand to win in 2 weeks, right? Sean Clark, nice to see you here, Sean. Hello, Bob and fellow junkies. Any good knife shows this weekend? Isn't the Lehigh knife show this weekend? I think it is. But I guess you'd have to be close to Pennsylvania or this region to go to it. This is the Sidekick from Off Grid Knives. I am just so happy with this knife. Carrie Arifice sent me 2 of them from Off Grid Knives, and one to keep and one to give away. And it was kind of hard to imagine which one to keep. So I kept the Coyote Tan version, but I've been really liking this black on black, but I've already kind of taken ownership of the Coyote Tan version. So I got to give this one away. But I love that humpback drop point. It's got beautiful jimping, really excellent engagement on the thumb ramp and on the forward thumb swale on the blade. You have a nice arced handle here. That's a redesign from the backcountry. This blade is a spun down version or a shrunk down version of the backcountry blade, but the handle is different. And I really like the redesign of this handle. I kind of wouldn't mind if they put this handle on the larger one too. But who knows? Maybe a V4 is in the offing. This is 14C28N with jigged G10 handle, which is incredibly comfortable in your 2 major grips. And then it's got an awesome Taco Kydex sheath with this very utilitarian spinning clip, not spinning, a rotatable clip. So much like the Tops rotatable clip, this thing you can set it up for regular carry, scout carry, angled carry, however you want by turning it. On mine, I have removed that, and I've been carrying mine in the waistband samurai style with a little cord tethering it to my belt. I don't know. I like the way that this curved handle kind of comes over my belt area. Very comfortable. And then you'll get a bolt pen with it. Now, the bolt pen that you will win is in this box. So, and what is this? Black. So black and black. This one is mine. And it's the stealth gray. It's got a great action here. And it takes the Parker Jotter style refill. And Parker Jotters are my favorite, like over-the-counter pens, if you will. And then it's got a glass breaker up here. Aluminum, pretty light, full size, excellent pen. So this is the Gentleman Junkie Knife Giveaway Package for April of 2025. You will like this. You will love this. So do become a Gentleman Junkie if it strikes your fancy. I was going to say something else. I got a bunch of other stuff I want to show, but I do want to remind you and you, Ryan Lynch. Hello, Ryan. Hashtag knife. We're going to give this away shortly. Very, very nice knife. The Wepe 737 camping friend. Ryan Lynch. Nice to have you here, Ryan. Evening all. Last purchase was the Urban EDC Vaquero, or is that Becerro, in Magna Cut and brass scales. Brass. I have no knife regrets. All knives matter. Couldn't agree with you more, sir. From the cheap $3 bait knife from Walmart to this, custom knife. I love them all. Donald Fry, good to have you here, Donald. Howdy, all. Late to the party. My latest purchase was the Hinderer Jurassic. That's a cool looking knife. Latest regret was a Buck 112 Ranger Sport. Love everything about it, but the thumb studs not working for one hand opening for me. They don't have them in the right place. That's what I like about the aftermarket thing aftermarket thumb stud that I have screwed onto my 112 is you can slide it down a little bit for better engagement. Frogman supporter, good to have you here, Frogman. I bought a Medford Praetorian tee, very nice. I had a Praetorian with the titanium one side and the G10 other. It was kind of thin. Cool knife, and I sold it, and I still see it every time I open up YouTube Studio. I see it. I'm like, oh man, that was a cool knife. Not sure how I feel about it. Kind of spendy. Afraid to use it. Medford. Yeah, it'll be very robust, no doubt. Don't be afraid to use it unless you just think you're going to move it along. It could be considered an awkward design by some. Northern Knives says, we did make a model called the Fuko. It was a collaboration with the Graybeard Green Beret. Oh, cool. Fuko. That's pretty fun. I'm taking it as a play on Puko. Jacob Green says, I cast my lines as the bird took off in the opposite direction. The bird hit my line and tangled itself on the way down. Stupid bird. No, I'm just kidding. Glad you were there and glad that you cared. Reeled it in, cut it loose. It was probably like, what the hell is going on? Why am I moving? Not under my power. This is only supposed to happen to fish. Whatever he was thinking. I'm sure he was thrilled that you cut him loose. So thanks for clearing up the story, fleshing out the story. Victor Blade says, so Bob, Dead Reckon is a new American company with a pretty interesting pivot design. Check them out. I didn't vibe with the knife. The blade was a little too thick behind the edge and funky for me. Oh, interesting. Okay. I will definitely check it out. Do you guys have tree pollen where you live? We sure do. Todd Carr says, yep, the Ultimate Hunter has no liners, but does have contoured scales. Feels great in hand like the AD-10 does. And I think he designed, Andrew Demko designed it, if I'm not mistaken. Hope the weird thing with your ear isn't Havana syndrome. No, that went away, and now I'm back to rubbing my nose. Havana syndrome. No. I don't think we ever did anything about that. We used to not do stuff about a lot of stuff. Anyway, Reverend Jim Lander, nice to have you here, Reverend Jim. My latest purchase was a Buck General. No regret. That's a cool knife. A Buck General. That's the 120, right? Victor Blade says, by the way, NYC bound, the invitation stands. Let's get together for dinner. I'll bring the wife and two daughters. I'll bring wife and two daughters. Welcome. That's awesome, Victor. I appreciate that. And, I've only been to your neck of the woods once, if I'm remembering correctly. I know south, that's as far as I'll go, but I don't remember if it's like all the way south or anyway. I have a feeling you live in a cool neighborhood, just knowing your background, and I have a feeling we would be eating an awesome meal. So thank you. I will definitely keep that in mind. But as of yet, we are not New York bound. We're thinking we're going to do it in the summer because it's kind of nice the way it clears out a little bit. Stephen Clayton Jr., nice to have you here, Stephen. Good evening, everyone. Coffee and knives. My latest purchase was TCAL Agent 007, the Ops Hawk and the Ops Striker. So you've got them all, man. I mean, you must be close to having them all. Did you get one of these? I saw that they're auctioning off some sappers with cool engraving on them like this, or laser work on them like this. And I have been wanting a sapper forever. I want a sapper and I want a mercenary. And today they had both of them, and I just couldn't. I ended up spending money on going to Blade Show, so that's a good second place. Terminator Joe says, I got the 4 KHHI knives being made. I've got 4. Oh, okay. Kukri House, right? Is that what KHHI? I think that's Kukri House knives being made. I recently got an email stating all but one, which is the D-Bad mission. Okay, so yes. Mission 3, oh God, that's cool. That's the one that's based on the Rambo 3 knife, are done. Hoping they finish this week. Oh, Mr. Terminator, you're a lucky man. He just put out that Rifleman's Bowie. That looks cool. D-Bad's got some pretty cool designs in production with them. And I almost got a Mission 3 a while back, and my one reservation is this. I've met Donnie B all day a couple of times. Very nice guy. Really nice guy. And my hand got lost in his when I shook it. He's a freaking giant, and I have a feeling he designs handles for giants. And I always wondered, like, would it be? But then I was like, stop being such a girly man. No, I do want to get a D-Bad, but definitely it's got to be in the Mission line because I'm such a Rambo. I don't want to say Rambo fan. Who's not a Rambo fan? But I love those knives, and I definitely want to get one of those, or his take on the Commando knife, which I loved even more. I loved that knife. Hey, Bennett, let's party. Ira Hayes says, I got on the Blade HQ Cold Steel Recon 1 XL pre-order. Pretty spendy at $275, but it's CTX XHP, and that's kind of a rare steel these days. No idea when I'll get it. Very nice. Very, very nice. I'm not sure how they're doing that. Are they releasing them like in a special way, or are they just going to come out and have it be normal? I guess if it's Blade HQ. Oh, no. Okay, so they announced them, but they're not making, or they're working on them. And then once they're out, then they'll be out wherever they're going to sell them. I'm just thinking out loud. Incognito Griffin says, Operation Jawbreaker was an operation 15 days after the attack of 9/11. Some CIA agents went to Afghanistan to spy on the Taliban, and they all carried the Coben. Okay, that's right. I saw a video on the history of the Coben. I can't remember who did it, but it was really good. And I remember that being mentioned. Todd Carr says, Blades Canada, Warriors and Wonders, and the Satin Recon 1 as an exclusive. That is, yes, that's what I remember. And Kevin Cleary had one. That's how I remember. Split and Slices says, Afterwork carry is my Skelton Tuya Kaladin V2 S90V, a raindrop carbon fiber, and a Queen Burlap Micarta Barlow M390 in Micarta. Oof, that sounds awesome. Angry Tom's Hatnack Store. Today I carried my Jack Wolf fixed EDC Midnight Blade Starburst Titanium and Victorinox Cadet. Wait, let's see. EDC Midnight. Okay. I know which one you're talking about. With the. Sorry, Jim. Can you go back for a second? Midnight Blade was Starburst Titanium. Okay, yes. It reminds me a little bit of like the Wilson Combat knives. They all had that kind of Starburst pattern. Incognito Griffin says, today I carried the Cold Steel Vaquero and the Cold Steel Tanto Pro Light. Very nice, both on both accounts. Autumn Wind, I carried the Feel Good today, as did I, with the Sleesh Bowie. Very nice, man. Classy choice. Victor Blades, that's a beautiful Feel Good Jack. I think I need one in my life. I wonder if you can buy those right now. OG Blade Review says, today's carry, the Concept Leviathan. Let's see. Max Ace Hella Folding Sickle, emotional support knife. Yeah. Pinkerton Feral Fixed Blade Pikal. That's a sweet one. Let's see. North Mountain Kickstop Chop Plus. That's also cool. It's got that's that cool Tonto flipper with the San Mai steel, I think. Best Tech Raison Navaja. And the TKL FLN Karambit. Very nice. That Raison Navaja. Is that designed by sorry, I'll get it in a minute. Ed says, carried the Z-Wear Shaman to work. All right, guys, I think it's time. Let's do this. Adrian and Fighter 35 says, today's carry was the Cold Steel Voyager Tonto Plain Edge XL and the Mini Tac Tonto Serrated Edge. Double Tonto carry. A bold choice. All right, let's give this knife away. I got some stuff I want to show you, but I got to get this off my conscience. All right, this is one last time. This is the Wepe knife W737 Camping Friend, designed by David Chen, who's done a lot of stuff with petrified fish, and given to us by Dave of OG Blade Reviews, given to me to give to you. D2 blade steel and G10, very thin and slicey blade, I forgot to mention. Very nice swedging up here and just thin behind the edge. Beautiful with the grind lines and everything, and awesome action. Let's see, weight relief in there. See the holes, and deep carry pocket clip. Everything you'd want out of a folder and more. All right, let's do this, Jim. Let's pull up the old, how many people? 66 entries. That's a solid showing. All right, let's do this in 3, 2, 1. All right, here they go. Here they go. There will always be a little tease. It'll stop, and then it'll go again. Ginger Fisher, 75. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations. This is all yours. Ginger Fisher. Man, it looked like it was going to stop at a couple of other places, and Ginger Fisher, you came out ahead, sir. So glad to get this to you. And not to you. Glad to get this to you, because I don't have it to you. I have a Wepe 737 to give you. Give me your address, please. Send it to TheKnifeJunkie, TheKnifeJunkie@gmail.com. Let me know where I can send that, and I will get this in the mail to you. I think tomorrow I should be able to get that in the mail. So congratulations, sir. Very, very happy to see this going to you. All right, I got to show you these. While more comments come up, I got to show you these two beauties that Bob Terzuola sent me as a loaner. I got to send these back, but I got to be careful with them. I have a feeling these are going to be pretty pricey. But these are his new Pacifico model with Fox knives, and they are unreal. This is with Thor pattern Damasteel and end cut carbon fiber, I think it is. And this is marbled carbon fiber and Magna Cut. And they are beautiful. 3.75-inch blades, really nice action. Great flipper tab that is damn low profile. I didn't have to say damn. Really nicely low profile and flips out really beautifully. You've got a dagger ground blade with a fuller down that medial ridge, and then just a little extra landing spot there for your thumb. I appreciate that. I hate or dislike strongly when a swedge comes all the way up here, like the old CRKT eraser, the Liang Ma, the original eraser had that. It was a great knife otherwise, but anyway, this is the satin version. Look at that. Carbon fiber. It's liner lock, so luxurious. It's got a nice big sculpted titanium pocket clip, very much in the Terzuola design language. And then here it is in the fancy, fancy dress. Look at that blade. That blade is so cool. I'm not a huge Damasteel guy, but I'm looking at this and I think it's gorgeous. I would love to have that. Love to have this as part of my collection. Unfortunately, all I have from Bob Terzuola in my collection is the Tomashi E from Sencut. And I don't mean, unfortunately, I have that. I love that knife and very glad to have that in my collection. But it'd be nice to have one of these too. I'll be real about it. The action on this is awesome. And Fox Knives does awesome work. And that's how I feel about it. I love it. I love the neutral handle. Nice full length backspacer with, or not full length, but half length backspacer of carbon fiber with a cool triangular butt cap there and lanyard hole. Oof, that's a nice knife. So I wanted to show these off. I'm going to be doing a close-up video of these probably this weekend so I can get these back in the mail to Bob and get them off of my plate. They make me nervous because they're so nice. And that happens like when someone sends me something and they're like, take good care of it. He didn't say that. He didn't have to. But yeah, I want to take good care of these and get them out the door. I don't want to scratch the clip or anything like that. So back in the cases they go. Stephen Clayton Jr. says, T-Kel. Okay. This is his carry for today. Agent 001, 2, and 3. The DP1, that's the new little knife. The Raider, the Taylor's Ridge, the Combatant, the FLN, Night Guard 2.0, Night Stalker Combat Grade, Night Hawk, CW Folder, Accomplice, Gideon 3, Piranha. So that's 14 T-Kel knives on him today. And the Wingard Wearables Micro Dick Pic with his Glock 43X MOS. Hey, what does MOS mean in this case? I've heard that suffix on a couple of pistols recently, and I realized I don't know what it means. In film, it means mit out sound, which is how the old German sound dudes used to say it in Hollywood, mit instead of with. So if there's a clip that's MOS, it's just film without an audio track. MOS is also, like your mission or your assignment in the military? But what's MOS in this case? James Hart says, did not leave the house today, but lucky man. But I used my Green River traditional hunter, to cut up my steak I had for supper. Okay, so double lucky. He didn't have to go out and be around other people. I'm just kidding. But the traffic today, oh my God, it was maddening. And he had a steak for dinner. So nicely done, sir. And he cut it with a great knife. Pat D's Nuts' last purchase was the CJRB Pyrite Bowie Gold black handle with gold hardware. Not so much a regret, but wasn't for me, was the Max Ace Black Mirror. Gave it to my friend who lost it within a week. Oh, man. We all got friends like that. Craig Vincent says 3V8010 Titanium Edition, Talwar 5.5, 6-inch holdout, Swift 3, Silver Eye, Black Talon 2 serrated, Kaiser Phoenix, Spyderco PM2 Titanium, Micarta Milita. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. Spyderco PM2, Titanium and Micarta Milita, and AM8 Gladiator. I remembered how to pronounce it this time. And the Buck Spitfire. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 knives. That's a pretty respectable showing, I gotta say. Michael Elliott says pocket check. Gunfighter Customs El Jefe Karambit, Gunfighter Customs Gunfighter, Gunfighter Customs Ledger Push Knife, Heretic Wraith V3, Microtech Dirac Delta Double-Edged Full Serrated. Nice. And your ESK was the Victorinox Farmer X ALOX. Very nice. I love the ALOX X lines. The X is for the scissors, and I just love the ALOX. Have a nice day. Carrying my 120 General with a new leather sheath with rattlesnake accent. Nice. Reverend Jim Lander, I carried usual. I'm trying to remember what your usual is. Strings, speak of the devil. Today's carry was the Leatherman Signal, the Rough Rider Reserve Brown Micarta Barlow, and the Max Ace Sandstorm. So that Max Ace Sandstorm got me this. That was our trade. Sandstorm for this. Beautiful Arbolito Bowie from Boker, made in Argentina. Look at this beauty. This thing, I love this knife. Dwayne Letterman, evening, everyone. Well, good evening to you, Dwayne. It's good to see you here. I love this knife. I absolutely love this knife. I've always loved the subtle recurve of this, the very long swedge, the crossguard. I used to think on first blush that it looked a little bit like the Laredo Bowie or the Trailmaster. But this one, with its recurve and its distal taper, it's N695 steel. And I understand that it's not like the most robust steel in the world, but I don't care. This to me, I love this thing. It's beautiful. It's got very nicely ridged canvas micarta handle scales. Some of the fit on the scale is a little wonky on one side. You can see a little space through there, but you know that I don't care. And to me, this is, well, first of all, it's razor sharp. So, but this is like a fighting Bowie to me. This is not the kind of Bowie that you go out and baton with and do that kind of stuff. This is something, this is like a defensive blade or an offensive dueling blade, if you will. Comes with a beautiful leather sheath. Look at this thing. I think a dangler went there at one point, but I don't miss it. You got nice stitching all the way around. It's got the welt. And then here it's got a tie down in case that's your thing. Not mine, but I love that this sheath has this really nice retaining strap, curved leather, and goes over with this little nubbin there. So this thing is a great trade, and this is the kind of stuff I'm into right now. Bowies, Bowies and fixed blades, and great trade, great knife. And I'm going to figure out where this has got to live somewhere in the house. This is not next to the bed, but this has to live somewhere in the house other than this room here. It just seems like the kind of thing I want to have out and around. Yeah, it is so freaking sharp. Let me see. I doubt it'll cut a paper towel, but let me see. I was wrong. And that never happens. Let me see. Just ask my wife. She'll tell you. Yeah, okay. Now I'm tearing it. And I need it, obviously, for my nose. So I will put this away. But a very, very sharp knife indeed. Very psyched to have this. And Argentinian made. Speaking of fighting Bowies, Bobby Rains. How you doing, Bobby? Hello, everyone. Where's the beard? The beard is a winter thing. It's a fall and winter thing. It's October to April. That's how it works out. And every year I think, I'm just going to wear this into the summer, and it always comes off. So that it'll come back. So my wife says that she gets 2 husbands a year. This one, and then in the wintertime, it's Lars. And I always say Lars is coming off the mountain when I start growing my beard. And then, Lars is heading back north. And both times she's always like, oh, like she's going to miss the beard. And then when I start growing the beard, she's like, oh, I'm going to miss your smooth face. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. Maybe beard on half my face or just a mustache. And that's something I always do too. I spend the day with a mustache. Usually it's one of the walrus tough guy mustaches. Makes me feel tough. But, and I like to freak out my girls with it. Ken Reed says, Kaiser Harpoon in in front pocket. Kaiser Harpoon. I don't think I know that one. Microtech Farmer X A-Locks in the left pocket. A fine choice. And the second Farmer A-Locks, X A-Locks in pockets today. Brown Sugar 0069. Good to have you here with us. Hello, Knife Junkie. Well, hello to you, Brown Sugar. Pleasure to have you with us. Reverend Jim Lander says, I carried my OSS or E-Auto, Jack Wolf Bennies, and a small lockback Boker. Wait, the first one. My OSS, what is that? Something or E-Auto. I'm thinking OSS. When I think OSS, I think of the cold steel fighting knife, but I think this is something else. Or So let me know. Elaborate on that just so I know what you're talking about. Terminator Joe says, carrying light, just one Cold Steel Espada XL blacked out, and the Cold Steel Mayhem limited edition also blacked out. Terminator, I like how you carry light, sir. I like the cut of your jib. King of Knives says, I was really light into only wearing the TKL 004 and the Spyderco mule. Military 2 accidentally hit send. Yeah, I do that all the time. Selai says, carried the Hobo Tactical bookmark today. That's cool. It's a little Picall bookmark with the Wingard Wearables slim quill with a cigarette butt as a sheath. Oh, interesting. I see. You just kind of stuck it in there. As Zach says, always carry a spike and a blade. Yes, indeed. I agree. Spike and a blade. Ken Reed says, regret. I will second the Essie Avispa. Total crap. Won't even give it away. Nice. So last thing in the package with the Boker and the sweatshirt was this cool knife. Angry Tom says it was a Hogue Elishewitz design. I think it was the EX1. Okay, I used to have the EX1. That was a great knife. And a good, was it button lock? I think it was a button lock. So this is the Nuck Knives Companter. And I remember when these came out and there was like a little brief flare up about how good this knife was. And lo and behold, it was in the package he sent me. Cool little, where is it? Somewhere on this clutter. This clutter has got to go. This is driving me nuts. But it came in a cool little zipper bag, a little canvas bag, beautiful little D2 blade with nice white G10. I like the way that looks, especially with the black wash blade. And it is a charming little razor sharp utility knife. I mean, I've kind of thrown this in my pocket, had it in my back pocket. I just had it around and on my desk at work for the past, I don't know, almost week since I've had it. And I really like it. Great front flipper too. And they are on Amazon, I saw. And I think that's the only place I could find one. I mean, I wasn't actively looking, but I really like this knife. And it's an unlikely knife for me to go to really get enthusiastic about. It's definitely sub 3.5. What is it? 3 inches, just about 3 inches. But it's a great little knife. I dig it. Super deep pocket clip. All right. The Nuck Knives. One other thing I'll show in a minute. Did I get through? I gave away the knife, showed off the. Okay, I wanted to make sure that I'm checking all the boxes. Angry Tom says it was a Hogue Elishewitz. Okay, yeah, we got that. I think it was an EX1. I like Elishewitz. He's a great designer and a total badass, former recon Marine. And I tell the story a lot. I'll tell it in a minute. Paul Hertzman, nice to have you here, Paul. Joining in late, waiting on my 007 purchase from TKL Knives. Can't wait to get my hands on it. Good to see you, Junkie. Well, it's good to see you too, Paul. And I can't wait till you get your TKL in hand. There's nothing like a TKL in hand. Here, I have my 001, but I also have my Night Stalker on the table. Night Stalker was the one that inspired the 001 because I just wanted something that fit in the same carry profile as I was carrying this knife all the time. And I was like, I wanted, obviously a different handle, but the same length. And I wanted a blade a lot like this blade here. So that's what I sent him the design. He tweaked the handle and bada bing, bada boom. I love this thing. But I just love TKL knives and I just can't wait. I cannot wait to get my next one every time. And so there you go. Oh, I have these on the table too. These are the ones that he's going to be prototyping. This is a design based on the Yatagan. But without the recurve, you just have the recurve, the effect of the recurve with a downward straight bellied edge and 2 edges and 2 sizes. So very much looking forward to that when that happens. So that's the long way of me saying I love TKL Knives. And collaborating with Tim Kell is like an incredible honor. Ed says, gotta go, peeps. If you win, give it to Paul Mills. If I win, give it to Paul Mills. Not sure if you can. Hashtag DSKFS here. What is that? Not sure what that is. I'll have to figure it out. Hopefully it's dirty and it'll occur to me. It'll be like, oh yes. Yeah, check it out. You can get a TKL knife with our affiliate link, TheKnifeJunkie.com/TKL. You can't get this yet though, because this has not been made yet. This is a resin print. And man, it's beautiful. I can't wait till that one goes into production. That will be awesome. Oh yeah, you save 10% on your purchase, and I get a little kickback as well. So everyone wins. This thing is so cool. Everyone should have something double-edged, and I highly recommend a Bob Loveless style subhilt fighter for sure. Sean Clark says, "Thanks. Think I'm gonna road trip to Lehigh Knife Show. Only 4 hours one way. Oh, that's awesome." And it's in Pennsylvania. I love Pennsylvania. I think it's a beautiful state. And it's so big and wooded. There's so much woods there. Stephen Nunn, nice to have you here, Stephen. Currently awaiting my Montana Knife Company stockyard as my new carry. We'll be here Monday. All right, Stephen, make sure you come back on next week. Let me know what you think of Montana Knife Company. I know they're awesome and they have like really blown up, and I do not have any experience with them. I'm not sure if they're going to be at Blade Show this year. I had the list of participants, and then I had something at work took me away from it, but I didn't get to see if they are going to be there. Craig Vincent says, I almost forgot. Also, got a Spyderco Ambitious and 2 Cold Steel Micro Recon 1s. Oh, very nice. Tonto and Drop Point, which I'm enjoying far more than should be allowed to for a large folder junkie such as myself. Craig, it was kind of the same thing with this. I'm like, why do I like this so much? It's great. Shed Knives, good to have you here, sir. We got Jack Billings from Shed Knives. Good evening, Bob and team. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday. We are having an awesome Thursday. I hope you're doing well, Jack. And I love the video you just put out. It was kind of I don't know, it was kind of advertising, and you had these cool kind of Hitman sunglasses on. Pretty cool. And love the clip point, and the name escapes me at the moment. Stephen Clayton Jr. says, I do have an FMF, a sapper, and a mercenary. Love them. Love them. I want the sapper. I also want the mercenary. But I almost feel like having the FMF with the same handle, I should get the sapper first and then come back and get the mercenary. Sapper has that beautiful recurve blade, and then the whole utilitarian nature of it for an ordnance disposal guy is very, very cool. Michael Elliott, having a great night, y'all. Gotta adult early. Thank you, Bob and Jim. I'm sorry. He says, have a great night. Thank you. Hope your adulting goes well tomorrow. Have an awesome night and have a great weekend, sir. Greg Vanderlip, nice to see you. Does the Vanderlip Dam ring a bell? Greg Vanderlip says, I have the John J. Tribute Bowie. And I want a War Machine and Menace and pocket folder still. Wait. Which brands are these? War Machine and Menace. John J. Tribute Bowie. Oh, okay. God, I'm such a flake. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the D-Bad knives. Yeah, the John J is the first one, I think, right? Terminator Joe says, I'm only 5'9". I think Donnie makes knives for military guys. I started collecting knives back in 2007, my first deployment in Camp Fallujah. Thank you for your service, Terminator. When I was an active duty Marine. And thanks for being a Marine too. Special place in my heart for the Marine Corps. James Hart says, missed again. And now I must bid you all a good night. James, have a wonderful night and a great weekend. Just got a call, and I will be doing some plumbing work in the morning. So good night. See you all next week. See you next week, man, and enjoy the plumbing work. Boy, there's a there's a skill in a field that we need more of. We need more good plumbers, just like we need more good electricians. People need to stop going to these 4-year schools for their lesbian dance theory degrees and get more people in the trades, I would have to say. Clark Henry says mounted optic system. Oh, okay. Thank you. That's the little red dot, right? MOS. Okay. So here's a curious thing. I've had my eye for quite a while on the Hellcat, the Springfield Hellcat. I guess it's MOS too, because it comes with that on there. And I've heard that if you're not used to using one of those, it could be more trouble than it's worth for a guy who's carrying, but who has not seen action with one. What do you guys think for the red dot things and I'm talking about for EDC, not for going and plinking or going to the range, but for carrying for self-defense? Is that too much? Is that just going to be in the way? Let me know. Let me know what you think. 1931 Leatherworks. Good to see you, sir. I just picked up a Work Tough Gear Kodiak. Those are awesome. Can't wait till it gets here. Oh man, those Work Tough knives. Let me pull this one out since I got one close at hand. Oh, I got two close at hand actually. The Puzon Predator Hunter. Bobby Rain says, carrying my old school Recon 1 as always. We've been through a lot together. When you say old school, you mean with the Axis style lock? Is that how old school we're talking? That is a cool one. So there's the Puzon Predator Hunter. Can't even fit the whole thing. There we go. And then I also have another Work Tough gear since we're talking Work Tough. This thing, the Steadfast. What a beautiful, beautiful blade that is. So sleek. The whole design of this is just awesome. Cal Richardson. Angry Tom's hat next door says, Bob, do you know of aftermarket scales for the Cold Steel Black Talon 2 serrated? No, I don't. I wonder if, okay, so here, I'm going out on a limb here, but go to Snaggletooth Tactical. Hang on, I got a little. Snaggletooth Tactical does, in their off hours, Rob, the guy over there, makes alien scales. And last week, in the last couple of weeks, I've shown off these beautiful wood scales for my 4MAX Scout that he made. Beautifully fit and everything. And he does a lot of accessories for cold steel type stuff. So I'm wondering if you couldn't convince him to make some, because I haven't heard or seen them, but anyone make them. But I think that could be a really cool thing if the black G10 isn't your thing. An American Father says, moved sheep and goat today. Carried my Rat 1, Rat 7, and Lion Steel B40. So what are they like? Who's more compliant, the sheep or the goat? Or the goat? Let's see. Jerry says, well, Bob, the asshole that would feel the business end of that Bowie ain't going to care what metal it is. Yes, exactly. Is that just M3? I think you just dulled it on my rib. Why don't you get out a piece of paper and check? Have a nice day. I'm sporting just a mustache this year. All right. Last year you had the mustache and you had like a, what do they call that? Not a goatee, but they call it I don't remember. After an artist, I think, with the thing, a Rembrandt or something like that. The good news is that we are able to secure a room at the Blade Show venue, so it'll be easy for us to hang out in the pit at the end of the day. Bring your purchases and share them with the group. Oh, yes, most definitely. That's cool. I've never stayed in that hotel. I bet it's loud up there once you want to go to sleep. But how cool is that to just look out your window and see all your knife friends? Very cool. I just booked my favorite place. I've been to 3 different hotels over the years, but the place I've been to the most and that I was really heartbroken when they didn't have a room available for my late ass a couple of years ago is the Marriott right across the street, or is the Sheraton Marriott thing right across the street. There's like a footbridge right there and really nice rooms. And so it's close enough, but not as close as you. That's cool. Next year, I got to do that. I gotta do that. You sent me an alert, and I wasn't ready to go for it. Have a Knife Day says maybe do a short video in the pit. Yes, the problem with that is the sound, but I think with these mics, it might work out better. Terminator Joe says, all my regrets I give away to my sister or brother. That's cool. That is cool. That's the way to go. Give it to your sisters and your sister and brothers. They need knives too, and probably aren't as choosy. So, I've given a couple of regrets away at work, and yeah, people love them. Ira Hayes says, I'm gonna get a TCal 001 version 2.0. Hell yeah. I'm going to get one too, by the way. I want a 2.0. I know what the differences are going to be, and they're just kind of finishing differences because of who's making them. I'm sure I won't regret it. I'm sure you won't either. Any idea what small changes there may be in June or July or whenever they're doing it again? I don't know when they're doing it again, but I do know that I wish I had I do know that some of the surfaces are going to be chamfered, like say around the finger guard. Instead of just having it come to a right angle, it'll have a nice chamfer, much like the adversaries and the combatants have. And that's all due to the fine outfit that's doing the machining. And he's very excited about it. I'm very excited about it. So yeah, no major design changes, just finishing. And man, doesn't it look good with that purple burl? I got to say, every time I see it in the camera, it makes that purple jump. So nice. Oh, wasn't expecting that. Angel Diaz, nice to have you here, Angel. My regrets will come when I get to the Atlanta Blade Show. Oh man, so I've been doing what I've never done, which is, never done in terms of Blade Show, is I've been saving, and partially it's because I know I've already ordered a custom knife, but I have not been buying tons of stuff, and so I believe I will have some funds available for some fancy stuff at Blade Show. Hopefully, I think we'll see. Forever bestowing incompetence. Nice to have you here, Forever. Spyderco Jump Master 2. Oh, I remember that knife. Agent Hitler, FBI. That's pretty funny. David Blade says, thank you for what you do. Oh, it's my pleasure. I've come to enjoy joining these lives every Thursday. I get a chance. Every Thursday, I get a chance. All my friends don't really enjoy knives like I do, so this is awesome. David, that's why I started this show. With the help of Jim 6.5 years ago, right? 6.5 years ago, is because, there's only so much, like even martial arts friends who like knives. There's just, only so much you can talk about the ins and outs of it. And certainly my daughters, they like knives, and my wife likes knives, but they don't want to talk about them. So that's why we're here. We're here to come together, sit around the coffee table, if you will, and talk about knives. So I'm glad you appreciate it for that. Have a Knife Day says April 25th and 26th is the James Black Bowie Heritage Testing in Washington, Arkansas. Can't wait to see the Bowie knives there. Oh my God. Yes, that'll be cool. You should check out 310 Forge. I think Mike Cahill, Have a Knife Day. I think you would like his beautiful custom Bowies. He makes a lot of them. Kyle Coonley, nice to have you here, sir. Dots are not too hard to acquire, and some great dry fire practice tips will help. Wouldn't go back to irons again. Oh, really? Okay. All right, cool. Well, I'm going to find out, because I want that Hellcat MOS, or whatever they're called, Hellcat 2, or it's a little bit larger than the original Hellcat. It is so nice. I've had a chance to check it out at my range a couple of times. I really like it. I've always been a Glock guy. I've got a number of those, but my wife has kind of taken to the 43. fits her. She shoots it well. And I'm like, maybe I should broaden my horizons. And I do like that Hellcat. It's pretty cool. Stephen Clayton Jr. says, after zeroing the optic, there is a learning curve. I think that's what you meant. There is a learning curve. Mike Hauser, personal preference, if you know iron sights and have good eyes, probably pass. I put them on larger home defense pews for over 20-yard shots. Oh, interesting. Okay. Two of the last blades I bought were and that was kind of what I was thinking. Like, I'm so used to iron sights. I wonder, but I've thankfully never pulled one, in had to like quickly acquire a target. I mean, and I still kind of think iron sights might be the thing for me, but like I said, we'll find out, and it'll just take some practice. Ira Hayes says, two of the last blades I bought were Formax Scouts and Alien Scales, thanks to Miss. Oh, cool. Awesome. I'm glad you had them. I'm glad that he had them. Van Dyke, thank you. I knew it was an artist, says Steve. Thank you, Steve. What, Steve who? Steve Norse? Is that what your name was? I'm not sure if I saw that right. Oh, Steve Nunn. Hey, Steve, how you doing, man? An American father, compared to goats, sheep are an absolute pleasure, but I have dogs, so everyone gets with the program very quickly. That's so cool. I love that. Send the dogs to take care of the goats. And so funny story here I'm outside DC. They reclaimed the old congressional or the old Senate graveyard, and it was totally subsumed with poison ivy. So they got like 10 goats and just let them loose. And like in a week, they cleaned up that whole cemetery so that workers could go in and fix the place up. I thought that was hilarious. Goats are like, they love the poison ivy. Have a Knife Day says, I got a knife from 310 at the last festival. It's a cardigan style knife. How cool. I'm not surprised. We are friends with 310 before they had their baby. Oh, cool. I'm not surprised. That makes sense to me. He's a nice dude. He's the guy who inspired me to start smoking a pipe. Well, Johnny, I've been thinking of taking up smoking, and this clinches it. Mike Hauser says, do you have the sub hilt, I think, with a two-tone leather shoelace sheath? Yes. One look here. I got it right here. This is my hog tooth knives. This is my 50th birthday knife. Loosely designed by me, or spec'd out by me, I should say, because Bob Lovelace designed the knife, and made by Hogtooth Knives. So this is the one you're talking about, I assume. Fully sharpened, double-edged, clip point, long, slender blade with a beautiful Damascus pattern that took him quite a bit of doing. Look at those quillions on the guard. Beautiful knife. This is wrought iron reclaimed from the Longfellow Bridge, I believe, in Boston. And that's antique black micarta there. And then I really wanted a stag handled knife. And actually I bumped into Matt at Blade Show 2022, I believe, when he was sourcing out the steel, or not the steel, but the stag. This handle was very complex build, and man alive, I love this thing. This is truly my dueling knife. That's the one I take and defend my honor with. Oh, I mentioned I spec'd it out that he made it, but my parents bought it. This was their 50th birthday gift to me. And so, I mean, how cool. Mike Hauser, thank you. So sweet. Oh, my pleasure, man. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for wanting to see it. Warms the cockles of my heart. But actually, you know what? This too, man. Even the OSS with its plastic and everything, which lives on top of my refrigerator. I just love the sub hilt style. I should just get more, right? Because more is better. No, it'd be cool to have other sub hilts from other makers. Todd Carr says, beautiful sub hilt. Yes, I agree. And thank you, even though I didn't make it, though. Jerry C says, I love red dots and all the modern optics we have to choose from, but it is very important to master iron sights before any modern optics. So you have that skill in the shit hits the fan situation, because shit happens. Yeah, yep. Collateral, that scene in Collateral where he shoots the two guys who steal the briefcase from Jamie Foxx. He didn't even raise the gun up practically. He like shot from the hip at first. And I just thought, oh man, I mean, you want to be able to do that preferably, but I know that takes a lot of practice, and the kind of practice I can't do at my range. I would have to find like a serious place that would instruct me in that kind of stuff. My range is just, walk up and shoot. You can't be drawing and all that kind of stuff. Though I think a lot of people must, because there's like bullets all over the bullet holes all over the place, people hitting the ceiling and stuff. Terminator Joe says, I had a funny story about a recent knife purchase. I bought a Cold Steel Warcraft Tonto from Amazon. When I got it, I was disappointed because it had 2 pliers and some random tools. What? That's interesting. Wait, are we saying that I got it, I was disappointed because it had 2 pliers and some random tools? You mean you opened it up and there was nothing in there but 2 pliers and random tools, or you got the knife and some random tools thrown in with it? That's crazy. Either way, I've never gotten random tools from there. I have gotten, I've gotten some bum Cold Steels from Amazon, or I got at least one, and I've heard of someone else suffering the same situation. It was when I got my Taipan the first time. It had a really wonky grind. Everything about it was wrong. And I don't think it was I think it was like a factory second or something. I don't think it was a counterfeit, but it was just terrible looking. So I sent it back, and I think I talked about it here or on the Wednesday show. And people were saying, don't ever get Cold Steel from Amazon. And I was like, okay. And then I proceeded to do so, and it all worked out just fine. Clark Henry says, April Fools. April Fools. What are you April Foolsing? Now I can't remember. Mike, I had a funny story about a recent. Okay. April Fools. I got you. Oh, my God. Yes. Thank you, Jim. Mike Hauser says, the range has special classes for close quarter draws. Very humbling for all. I bet. Plant Daddy, good to have you here, Plant. I've heard from a bunch of people that the Taipans show up with goofy grinds. I held my breath and got a good one. Yeah, my second time around, I got a good one. It's pretty sweet. I do have to say, though, it wasn't the most razor sharp of Cold Steels, so I took care of that. This has been incredible. Todd Carr, got to be careful about sellers on Amazon. Lots of counterfeits around some shady sellers. Yeah. This Cold Steel Magnum Tonto 12 with the VG10 San Mai. This thing is awesome. It is so good. It's so light and quick. And I don't know, man. I was not expecting to like it as much as I do. I got it because I wanted it because it's big, and I thought it was cool, and I've always wanted one. And I thought it would make a good companion to the 6-inch when I got in 1987. And yeah, all of those. That Tonto looks so cool. It is. It's worth it. I think this was under $200, I think. But the way it moves, though, I mean, like, it just feels really good and light in hand. And I guess it's balanced right in front of the guard, so it moves like it should. And it's a lot of fun. And unlike the Taipan, you can, when you put it in, you can make sure that the spine of the blade contacts the back of the sheath so it's not touching. It's a little less sure doing that with the double-edged Taipan. Terminator Joe says, but I end up getting the actual knife 3 days later and return the box full of pliers. I think who first got it returned it to them, got a refund, and kept the knife. How lame. I got it now. That's cool, man. I want one of those I want. I'm always saying that, but I would love to have one of those Cold Steels. Cold Steel Warcrafts, the larger ones. They have a 5, a 7, and a 12. I guess I would go for the 7 first. String says, I've had good luck off the Cold Steel store on Amazon. Oh, just getting it directly from the Cold Steel store. Todd Carr, definitely short sword territory. Yeah, we are getting there because it's a 12-inch blade. I mean, I always think 13 and over is kind of short swordy in terms of blade length, not overall. Mike Hauser says some shady junkies making shorts in parking lots too. Oh, really? JK, love the mental break. Nice. Oh yeah, this is so good. This is so good. Yep. My custom is going to be from this guy, from Matt Chase. And you might know what it is. I think I've dropped hints a lot. So yeah, you're probably right. It's going to be awesome. Let me see. We're about to go. But I want to show you a couple more cool things here. Well, you know I love the Randall. So I got to show you this because it's out tonight. I love this thing. I would love to get more Randall knives, like a legit, not legit, a number 1 with a 7-inch blade or with an 8-inch blade. This is the number 16 with the 1 blade. This is the Special Fighter. So cool. This, yeah, I love this knife. But this also I've been digging on a lot. The Smatchet. Both of these have a really great lineage if you think about it. This is a takeoff, or not a takeoff, but a modern design, modern version of the classic combat knife. And this is just a modern rendering or modern build of the classic knife. So this hasn't changed much since World War II, though I'm not sure if they had the 16, but that blade is the number 1. So that's the fighting blade a lot of guys carried. Got the sharpened swedge and everything. Yeah, I love these. You should check out the Rolando Escotada Part 2 interview. He shows off a lot of cool Randalls, and it was very pleasing to me. Jerry C says, Bob, on that long Cold Steel Tonto, does the handle having that somewhat of a taper and give you any issues at all? No. Is the handle grippy enough? And is it a moot point? Yes, it is a moot point. It is grippy as hell. And not in an uncomfortable way, but it's just, no, it grips. It grips very nicely. The taper on these has never been a problem. If this were like polished wood, maybe, but you get a lot of grip from the knurled texture and from the grippiness of the rubberized handle. So yeah, I would not let that stop you. Plant Daddy says, I love the Smatchet. Your video on it had audio meant only for dogs, I think. Really? What do you mean? Your video on it had audio meant only for dogs. Did I tell someone to let the dog out? I'm not getting it. I got to quit here in a minute. I got to wake up in 5 hours now, and I'm starting to lose it. Adrian Fighter 35, another great show, guys. Thanks for what y'all do. Good night, Bob, Jim, and all you junkies out there. Stay sharp. Thank you, Adrian. You too, man. Let me know what you meant about the dogs. Craig Vincent says, I've gotten at least 80 Cold Steels from Amazon. Not one problem. 80 Cold Steels. Manaja. Split and Slices says, FYI, Knife Center currently has a Model 24 and a Model 25 available. You're welcome. I'm not sure which ones those are. If they're Bowie's, I might be tempted. Strings says, turning in here. God bless and be safe. Thank you, Strings, to you and Miranda. Randall, that is the 34 and 35. Okay. Randall, that is 34 and 35. Got to check those out. Planted. The audio on the Smatchet video was super quiet. Oh, really? Oh, shoot. Oh, didn't sound super quiet. I was using this mic. Maybe that's the reason. I'll have to double check it and repost it because I didn't hear that, but thanks. Super quiet and very high pitched. Mike Hauser, take care. Plant Daddy, thanks for letting me know that. Pat D's Nuts, good to see you, man. Have a great night. Have a knife night. Have a knife day. I think your video volume was too low. The video's volume was too low. Yeah. Huh. Awesome. Good night, all. Good night, David. Good to have you here with us. Craig Vincent. Hey, Bob, 80, about half of my Cold Steel collection. You're making this guy jealous. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. Be sure to join us next week. Can't wait to talk to you again. For Jim working his magic behind the switcher, I'm Bob DeMarco saying, until next time, don't take dull for an answer.